CJ, we talked about last week. I mean, you're getting on the field for 68 snaps,
Right.
a significant increase from weeks past. Just first of all, getting on the field, getting the start and things like that, how did that end up feeling, even in a loss?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good, obviously, to get more opportunities to play on the field. Ultimately, not extremely happy, though, with the end result of the game. All that matters is kind of winning football games, and whether that means I'm on the field a lot or not on the field at all, that's the end goal. Obviously, wasn't happy that Chin was hurt, but, just was able to step in and kind of, be that kind of filler guy for him, and I think that just comes with the preparation that I had at hand and kind of the opportunity that presented itself for me as well.
Talking about the first, 8 weeks or so, or 9 weeks or so in Madison now, you've been able to slowly increase your snap count and things like that.
Definitely.
What have you kind of learned throughout the process, and how have you developed throughout the first few weeks in Madison?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's all a process, like you said. I think everything in life is a process, just like it was at USC for me, and it's like it was in the transfer portal for me, and then also being here. I mean, it's a process. It's going to be incremental steps going to the point that you want to get to. And I'm not completely content with the situation. Obviously, I'm not happy. I never want to be happy with where I'm at, just being where I'm at. So, kind of learning throughout the process is just to be patient. That's something that I think young guys like myself, I'm only in my second season, right? I think that's something that we all need to learn. Obviously you want everything right there going forward, right there in front of you. But for a lot of people, that's not what's going to happen. So just being patient with the process and just working and doing my due diligence and just learning something every single day, coming out here and getting better and, loving the game. I think that's something that I've kind of learned throughout this season is right. If I'm going here and going to harp on the amount of reps I'm getting in the game and harp on the amount of balls, I'm going to be, I'm not going to be happy with all these different things. But, obviously coming out here and loving the game, just knowing how much I love it as a person, I think that helped me a lot. So.
Talking about you transferring to Wisconsin, 4-star recruit last year, and all the different kind of storylines going into it.
Yeah.
Do you think that this season so far has kind of been to your expectations, both as an individual and for the team?
Yeah, I don't think this has been the expectation for, the team at all. I thought I had really, really high expectations for us as a team as far as, win-losses. But I think that's something that's kind of surpassed just the win-loss column is how close that I think we are as a team. And even through the adversity, I think we still come out here and we practice and we love each other every single day. And that's something that you don't really find in a program. A lot of times when teams lose 4 games, right, you're going to find guys that turn on each other. And I think this team specifically, there hasn't been a step that was lost because, every single time guys come out here, come in the locker room, we find a way to kind of reunite, through the process and just through the grind. And for myself, like I said earlier, right, I'm not content with, where I'm at. I don't think I'm ever going to be content where I'm at, whether it's, I catch 100 balls, win a Biletnikoff, whatever, I'm always going to want more. And I think that's what kind of makes me who I am, the competitor I am. So, with that, just looking for the opportunities to increase and all that different things. But with that, I got to work harder, right? I got to work harder, got to put myself in a better position. So.
We've seen you, back in spring ball, fall camp, you're practicing afterwards and things like that.
Yeah.
Just going through the process overall, obviously, ultimately with the NFL as your end goal,
right.
How have you kind of just, not necessarily, just gone through the process, understanding you're a young guy, you're going to go through this development period and that, how have you kind of looked to embrace it, especially with the transition from USC to here?
Yeah, it's the grind, right? It's just falling in love with it every single day. And I think that was the biggest thing for me was through spring ball, through fall camp, right? Even if I have a great practice, a great week, a great spring ball, falling in love with the fact that I can come out here and do better the next day, do better the next week. And I think that's kind of how I've learned to embrace, the culture of this place, Wisconsin, and football in general. And just I think the way my family kind of installed it into me and my coaches at a young age is there's always going to be someone out there working harder than you and someone doing better than you. So kind of looking forward to the fact that, that's who I'm competing with, someone that may be in Florida right now, someone that may be in the University of Alabama or even in the NFL. That's who I'm competing with, not even just myself, but obviously just trying to get better every single day. I think that's the way I've embraced it and kind of kept that goal of the NFL in mind,
Talking about a guy like Braden, right? Someone who's stepped in now. You were with the second team for portions of spring ball, portions of fall ball.
Definitely.
Do you think that that's accelerated, your relationship with Braden both on and off the field?
Yeah, definitely. Me and Braden were extremely close during spring ball, during fall camp. And even now, I think we're extremely close. And I think just having the fact that we played a little bit together earlier on, first getting here, even my visit here I took with Braden. So he's been a guy that I've been pretty close with since I got here. He's a good guy. And I think just having that relationship and that kind of think that relationship between us, it's helped for sure. It's helped in practice. I mean, I'm just looking forward to carry over the game, a little bit more.
2 weeks ago, after Chim went down, Coach Fickle said guys like Bryson, guys like you are the guys, and guys like Vinny are the guys who kind of need to step up and kind of, help the offense out in a way. What's kind of the change going from maybe a guy where you don't know when you're going to come on the field as a reserve to being a starter, being the guy that you kind of have to be dependent upon?
Yeah, I don't think it really changes anything, right? You come on the field every single time, you play your heart out, and you want to be a consistent football player. And it's right, you got to be consistently, this is what Coach Fickle says all the time, you got to be consistently good to be great one day. So, you got to be consistently good to be great. And I think every time I step on the field, I want to be consistently good, whether it's like I know when my number's going to get called or knowing that I'm going out there for that first series in the game. So I don't think there's really been a change in my mindset or my focus, really. I think I come out there to play with my heart every single time. That's something that, I think kind of is able to show a little bit more when I start in the game and, kind of get to fill it out earlier on.
Looking ahead to, or first of all, looking back, where do you think on the field you've improved the most starting from week 1 to now? And where do you think you're going to look to improve the most, be it throughout the end of the season or in the offseason?
Yeah, I mean, my feel for the game, I feel like it's gotten a lot better just in this offense in general, knowing when to sit in zones, knowing what leverage DB's trying to play. And I think that's something that I've improved on with my release game, just in man coverage. Things like that. I think my breaks getting in and out of routes has improved a lot, more fluid, more natural. And then on the off season, obviously going to want to work to get, I'm going to try and improve all facets of my game, whether it be the releases or my breaks, different things like that, which are more game specific, attacking the football. I think even getting stronger and faster, looking to put some weight on, looking to increase some speed and just become a better athlete overall. I think that's going to help me in the long term. So, and then also perimeter blocking is something that, I think we stress a lot on this team, and I want to improve on a lot. I want to be a guy who can go in there and just lock my guy down whenever I'm calling to the block.
You talk about, the improvements, you being an athlete, releases specifically. As a guy who's 6'2", a bigger guy who kind of, looks to win at the line of scrimmage and looks to win those contested areas.
Yeah.
How integral have you learned that the release kind of package is, especially with your profile?
Yeah, I mean, I think just release in general is like the main point of what a wide receiver's game is, right? If you can't get off the line of scrimmage, then it's going to be extremely difficult for you to get any type of separation in your route. And that's something I really pride myself on, is separation, whether it's at the top or at the release, doing it in either other way. So sometimes, maybe you're not going to win the release, maybe the DB's going to guess right, but I think having all those other aspects of your game or your route running technique, whether it's your vertical aspect or the top of your route, I think that all kind of helps and goes into, just getting separation. So that's the end goal, separation, right?
Yeah, and lastly, looking at the last few games, maybe even looking at the offseason, what do you think yourself and this team needs to do in order to get back on track and kind of deem this a successful season?
Deem this season specifically? Win out. That's all. That's all that matters. So I can win out. Sorry, excuse my language, but win football games. That's all that matters. We got 3 more guaranteed left. Hopefully, win those 3, we get a very good bowl game and go win that. Like that's the end goal, is to win those 4 games. And even maybe to that Big Ten, and something miracle happens, but win out. That's the goal.